Griffin, thanks so much. A couple of things I want to point out really quickly. We'll get back to the Coleman County storm in just a second, but this just came in from North Alabama, a little outside of our viewing area, but in Jackson County. All of this rain has now caused some houses to flood, so now they're having to do some rescues, getting some people out of homes as water is rising quickly there in Jackson County. I say that to say we are experiencing very heavy rain, so if you yourself live in lower lying areas or some spots geographically that are prone to quickly rising water and some flooding, and you know where those spots are, make sure that you're just aware of the heavy rainfall and that you take the appropriate actions that you need to do to get yourself to a safer spot if need be, because it's one thing to protect yourself from the high winds, but then to protect yourself from the rising waters as well. It's a double whammy, isn't it? All right, storm team radar right now, we're looking at very heavy rainfall through Holly Pond and northern Coleman County. Keep in mind with this particular storm system that the primary threat that we're going to be dealing with is a lot of just straight line winds. Now, there is some rotation, and that's why the tornado warning has been impacted for northern Coleman County, but there is that's not necessarily to say that there's absolutely a tornado on the ground. I want to revisit our storm relative velocity because this couplet has gotten a lot bigger. What I'll do right now is I'll remove the warnings. It's a lot to look at on the map, especially when we're trying to zoom in and show some detail here on the map. So let me just take these warnings off for just a moment because, again, I'll walk you through where the most serious stuff is, warning or not. I'll make sure that you know exactly where you need to go to stay safe. So Holly Pond, if you live in Holly Pond there, make sure that you are seeking shelter. This is moved just to the east of North Walter. It's heading in towards Bertie, Summit, Roswell, Nixon Chapel. You're going to be next. McClearty, Douglas, Horton, High Point, and then High Mound. Make sure that you are getting to that safe spot. Now, what we're beginning to see is these gray pixels in between the red and the green. That could actually mean that this is really broadening out, but it could also mean it's becoming more of a big old wind event than just a rotating event. A lot of times we get a lot more fearful about tornadoes. It's just naturally how we are. It builds anxiety and nervousness, and then we kind of dismiss high wind events because we think, well, those aren't going to be impactful. It's just going to be a lot of wind. But I think today has proven that high winds can cause a considerable amount of damage. We're going to talk about a lot of trees down over the next day or so. Once the sun comes up tomorrow morning, I think we're going to see the full effect of what straight line winds of 80, 90, 100 mile per hour can do to a city. The problem is these are all straight line winds, so they can be half a mile long swaths of wind that are pushing through cities. So even a severe thunderstorm warning carries with it that big danger. All right, so again, Summit up towards Hopewell and then over towards Red Hill, Nixon Chapel, Hyatt, Horton, and Douglas. Make sure that you're getting to your safe spot right now. Let me zoom out just to get a little reset on geography here. So establishing where we are, we have South Vinemont and Coleman. This is I-65 running north-south, so Coleman south goes to Birmingham, and then take I-65 north to Decatur. And then here's that area of rotation near Holly Pond. So you see that brighter green and that brighter red. If we look at our velocity product and we can actually kind of add these numbers together, we're looking at nearly 80 mile per hour winds there. And did you just see that flash of lightning in Birmingham? It is about to get very intense in the Birmingham metro from Hoover to Vestavia Hills, Mountain Brook, Homewood. You are going to be looking at a lot of rain moving in. It's already raining, but it's about to get windy, rainy, and noisy. The lightning is going to put on a light show as well. So we are expecting that right now. So that's currently happening in Birmingham. But this latest rotation, this latest scan actually shows this couplet kind of intensifying yet again. So this is New Canaan. We need to get to your safe spot right now. If you live anywhere along Red Hill Road, County Road 56, Rock Hill Road, Warrenton Road, up through Diamond Road. Again, there's Rock Hill Road, Diamond Hill Road, and then Browns Valley Road. Go ahead and seek shelter right now. We need to make sure that you're getting to your safe spot. That's the most important. That's immediate action right there. And then State Route 79. So this is going to head up towards Sydney and then up towards Big Spring Creek Subdivision and then Country Club Estates. Make sure that you're getting in your safe spot. Wyatt, make sure that you're in your safe spot. So if you live on Pankey Road, if you live on Pleasant Hill Road, if you live on Teal Road or there's Pleasant Grove Road. This is just outside of Laddywood. Make sure that you're getting into that interior room, the lowest floor of your house. Same with High Point and Horton, and that's along Witten Road there, and then Bethlehem Road. And that area of rotation still exists there over just to the east of I-65, east of Coleman County. So we want to make sure that you see what's going on the maps here, because this is very important information. It doesn't look as much right now that it's actually rotating, but we are still seeing those reds and greens, those pixels on the screen identifying different wind speeds getting very close to each other. So we want to make sure that we don't lose sight of the importance of this right now. So again, this is rotation from Hopewell down towards Summit. This is Highway 231. So where Summit is, this is Highway 231. It runs in north-south there. And there's actually a little street marker, 231. So just to the east of 231, that's where the rotation is in Hopewell. Then Red Hill, seeing some heavy winds, and then Neesmith Road, and then down towards County Road 21 with McClarty just to the south of that. Nixon Chapel, go ahead and get to your safe spot. We'll continue towards Albertville, down towards Horton, and then that includes the city of Boaz. So a lot of these counties, though, a little bit north of our viewing area at this point. And then as we look back on our track here, let me go ahead and put our warnings back on here just so we can see, get a better perspective there. That tornado warning still exists for Coleman County, but the main threat of that storm is now beginning to move out of Coleman County, and it's starting to move closer into Albertville and Boaz, Arab. So those are some places that could be impacted. We've extended our severe thunderstorm warning now to include the city of Gadsden, Etowah County, all the way back down to Jefferson County, the city of Hoover, just shy of central Shelby County, but we do have northern Shelby County. So these are some new warnings. I'll send it over to the Weather Center with meteorologist Griffin Hardy to break down these new severe thunderstorm warnings that now include the city of Leeds, northern Shelby County, as well as Pell City. Griffin.